Look centered on YouTube.
Comfort.
Oh, man, you take this out. Just for the weather, boy.
Lord said, confession from the soul. So right now, all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Shot call. To be number with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top, dog. Funny how we see better than not the lives lost. Can't be focused on the life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord again for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cooked up with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had your life in jeopardy. And I know my brother won't success with me. But that cliche take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember, running with bruh. Even though we did the wrong thing, my life would have been a lot different if I put up on the wrong swing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name. That way offended with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that the handcuffs custom made the fight. I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design. Cause when you in the streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and no restrictions. My father said a hard head make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In the place where black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on Lake Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court, found in DC school. I swear it felt like I drowned on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep there, hear my voice.
What we looking like?
Time looking like?
Check. Okay, let's get it. We gonna cut the merge. All right, y'all. Everybody good? See stuff in your faces. Can't blame you for that. But Shalom Israel. This is the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yohana. We coming live again from Nashville, Tennessee for the scripture breakdown class. Just ran up a flight of steps. I'm out of shape because I'm winded. We're going to keep this going. That's why I need to get in the gym. Like this weekend, it's going to be the start for me. Give yourselves a hand. Let's see y'all. All right. Made it through on boot up and shut up. Also one y'all and Captain Cahan be calling it the what they call it, the fifth chamber of hell or something like that. It's something like that. Good you made it out of that this week. All right. Tonight we're gonna get into it's kind of to the getting the attention of the sisters, okay? Not from a space of necessarily correction or anything like that. It's more of helping sisters remind them of where they come from. Like brothers, we have numerous reminders of the pedigree that we come from. Brothers use brothers like King David, Paul, Gideon, Joshua, Christ, of course, we have a lot of examples and a lot of history to go look at to help us understand what kind of people we are, where we come from. So I just wanted to remind the sisters of the pedigree they come from. Remind them why they should stay strong. Uh, even though a lot of fake Israelite groups will have these sisters and children at camp, and that's a war zone. You should never have a sister should never be at camp with brothers because anything can pop off. They don't have children and the women and the children should not be in the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but there is a place for sisters that did need them to be in the battlefield, but it was in a way that the Lord needed them to be there. And whenever the Most High intervenes and deals with the sisters and reaches out to a sister, we're going to see with these sisters that the sisters was there, meaning that they listened to the Lord. One specific sister listened to the Lord while the whole rest of the Israelites was about to join the Assyrians. This sister stayed strong. All right, so sisters, you are very vital to this body. You're very important. And what we need to, and what I'm trying to get you to understand is when you have certain thoughts in your head, when you suffer from depression, when you suffer from not having a sense of belonging or not knowing who you are, because the only thing you've known is what your mother has taught you to be. And we all know she's taught you to be a monster. So you need to refer, because if you look at the heathens, they can look at their family trees and get an understanding from where they come from and who they are. But where's our family tree? If you go to, what's going on, sis? When you go to these, what do you call them? Little DNA tests. What do they call them things? Ancestry.coms, your genealogy. When they're talking to you, they telling you have this, a percentage that. Man, ain't no way you can be Italian, Igbo, I don't know, Czechoslovakian, and then you're 1% black. Come on, man. Who is dissecting the blood cells to be like they're this percent? There's no way you can know that. But what you can know.
They made it $1 billion industry off us not knowing who we are.
Exactly. That's a very good point, Priest. They make money off of our ignorance, off of our wanting. It's just like another example is like the voting going on right now. You thinking that their voting is going, like, you really think Biden is going to do something for you. But like the brother said, you trying to find who you are has costed us billions of dollars. Us trying to find a leader that cares about us and their nation hates us costs us our lives. So if we just use this right here and come to the true priests and prophets of the Lord and the ISUPK, sister, I guarantee you'll understand what kind of pedigree you come from. You'll understand how important you are, and you'll know how to deal with the world when it's trying to stress you out, worry you, when your family turns on you, when you just don't know how to deal with life. This is how you do it right here. You come to these scriptures and you learn off history. You learn off the mistakes that we made, and you learn off of how the Lord was always there when we need him. All right. So that's what we're gonna go to. Anybody have any questions? First of all, Slack. Always do that. Sis, you what? Sis in the back. You what? Okay, come. You got a nose ring? Okay, I see you. I didn't even see that. Let's go to Parak. Parak. As soon as we get a trooper in here, get him to get all these fans and whatever we're not needing and put them in the supply closet. Appreciate you, bro. All right. First thing I'm gonna go to. What I'm gonna go to first. Let's do for last. Let's go to. I think it's Deuteronomy. Let's go like Judges 4:1. Officer Parak, I'm probably get you to read for right now. Till I think the trooper's on his way. We'll start there though. Judges 4:1. Did I say Deuteronomy?
Yeah.
I mean Judges. Judges 4:1. Let's see what's going on here. Matter of fact, let's we'll start Judges 4:1.
The book of Judges, chapter 4, verse 1. I'll walk that.
Done.
And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
When Ehud was dead.
Anybody know about Ehud? Y'all remember Ehud?
He was a king.
Yeah, he was a certain king. Y'all remember Ehud? How he got assassinated? I gave it to you right there. Y'all remember that?
Nah.
When the brother stabbed him so far in his stomach that he got stuck.
Yeah.
Like he stabbed him, and then it said his innards came out, and then he couldn't even pull it out because I think he was a big fat Moabite king. I always bring up what's his name, Buddha. Yeah, I always bring him up. He reminds you of Buddha the way they describe him, you know. But this is right after he got killed.
That's right, because it reminds me of Jabba the Hutt when they killed Jabba the Hutt.
Gone, yeah,
right.
Yeah, just like that.
Right.
But this is after he got killed. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And the Lord sold them unto the hands of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor. The captain of whose host was Sisera. So
now you got Sisera. He's the captain. Something wrong?
There's a comment there. I was wondering if I could go up there and block it.
Read what?
You don't want to read it out loud.
Read the comment, Barack, if you could. Let's see what's going on. You can take the sister phone and read if you want to.
I'll read it.
You pull it up. What is it, a troll?
Yep.
Troll.
If it's a troll, worth it. Cool. If he on some weird.
Oh, it's.
That ain't worth it.
We'll do some weird 5 sign.
No.
Lord is coming.
The
end is near.
The name is Nefertiti, so I know.
We got a blackity black.
Would say some homosexual shit.
What did he just say? What he or she
talking about? Dildos, right?
Oh, come on, man. All right, yes. All right, Salakia. Let's get for real. Obviously, we must be on some truth if Satan got to come in like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I took care of it, sir.
Most High Christ, the water, brother. The water sis for pointing that out. Now Sisera was the captain. All right, it's the captain of King Jabin, and Sisera was his captain. All right, they're supposed to be a notorious king of Canaan, and Sisera had a very powerful army. We're about to find out. Go ahead.
Which dwelt in Hesherith of the Gentiles. Verse 3. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had 900 chariots of iron.
Yeah, how many?
900 chariots of iron.
Now, this is chariots in context. We always speak in context. These are not flying saucers. These are not the chariots that that the angels would be in, the heavenly host. These are actually iron chariots that usually a horse will pull, men will be in it, and it's, they use it for warfare. You've seen most of them, like if you see old movies of what's the little chariots? They be in the Roman Colosseums fighting
Ben-Hur.
each other. Ben-Hur,
Okay.
Gladiator,
The old Ten Commandments.
Troy.
yeah, the old Ten Commandments, Troy. Yeah, all them those little, they got horses pulling them. That's the chariots they referring to now. He had 900 iron chariots. That is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Which guy? Hebrew.
Iron? Like caves? Had iron?
Iron like metal. You trying to picture what chariots look like? Excuse me. Chariots look like? What you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to figure out what they look like a little bit.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Sis, one of Aquathian, can y'all pull up chariots on your phone? Show the brother. They're about to show you in a minute. Keep going, brother. Select.
In 20 years, he mightily oppressed the children of Israel.
So 20 years they went through this oppression because their army was so powerful. Sound familiar?
Right.
We're living in that right now. Keep going.
Verse 4.
Mhm.
And Deborah, a prophetess,
Mm-hmm.
the wife of Lapidoth,
Yeah, you 12.
Lapidoth,
Right. Lapidoth.
she judged Israel at that time.
Now, this is where Christians are going to say women can preach.
Right.
You can be a prophetess. Did it say that?
Uh-uh.
No. You're going to see that Deborah or Deborah, she was a woman almost like you would see as Big Mama. She would like, people would come to her, especially children, young women, would come to her to settle disputes, give advice. What you say?
To get guidance.
To get guidance, you know what I'm saying? So did she teach priests? No. Was she teaching anybody in the church? No. That's not what she was doing. And we're going to see further on in the scriptures. Go ahead. And I just bring that up because the first thing Christian churches do is they let a woman be a so-called prophetess and put hands on you and grab your hand and say, do you feel that? And you look at her like, no. I'm supposed to be feeling power coming from you.
Right.
It's a game. It's a scam. All right, keep going.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And she dwelt under the palm trees of Deborah,
Mm-hmm.
between Ramah and Bethel,
Mm-hmm.
in the mount of Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for a judgment.
See, the children of Israel will come up to her for judgment. They come up to her for advice, helping with disputes. Now, did it say anything about she's teaching priests or she's teaching scriptures? No. Okay, that's what Deborah was. That's what Deborah was. She would just help people with disputes. Now, also, you're going to see Deborah understood what role she played, even as a sister that the Lord is dealing with. Okay, this is another sister. The Lord is dealing with her, and you see the wisdom that she has because she's giving advice to the people. Now, let's see, because if the Lord, okay, put it this way, if Deborah was doing something wrong, the Lord wouldn't be dealing with her. So she's going to show you why the Lord chose to deal with her in this situation. Let's read.
Verse 6.
Mhm.
And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abanom,
Mm-hmm.
out of Kadesh Naphtali,
Mm-hmm.
and said unto him, Hath not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying, Go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali,
Mm-hmm.
and of the children of Zebulun. Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I will draw unto thee to the river of Kishon,
Mm-hmm. Sisera.
the captains of Jabin's army,
Mm-hmm.
with his chariots and his multitude,
Mm-hmm.
and I will deliver him unto thy hand.
Oh, right there. The Lord is giving a vision to Deborah. She's telling Barak, hey, the Lord told me that this is what you are to do. She's not giving orders to Barak. The Lord is dealing with her, gave her a vision, and she's telling Barak what that was. And with doing that, now Barak, this is how much respect he has for her. Watch what he says. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And Barak said unto her, if thou wilt go with me, I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go.
Barak is like, man, the Lord is with you. If he's letting you know this, you gotta come with me. If you go with me, I'm gonna go. But if you don't come, I'm not going. Now, what is that saying at that moment? Anybody?
I was just going to ask a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Could this be a situation where if she was false prophetess
Mm-hmm.
and she was making up lies
Mm-hmm.
and she wouldn't go with me?
Right. Yeah, because she gonna be like, man, he ain't tell me that for real. No, he told me to tell you that you have to go.
Yeah, but
she wouldn't be wanting to go.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But him saying, hey, if this real, you come with me if the Lord really told you this.
Mm-hmm. And also, you got to realize that Deborah, she's about to show you in this next verse what this is really about. It's almost like Barak is like, man, I don't know, but if you go with me, I'll go. You ever had a homeboy, y'all supposed to go somewhere, and he want to go, but he ain't going, or homegirl, and he ain't going unless you go. But he really want to go, but nah, I ain't comfortable unless you go with me, though. You my dude. So Barak's looking at it like that because the Lord's dealing with you. Now look at what Deborah says. Go ahead. This is why the Lord's dealing with Deborah. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thine honor.
Oh, right there. I'm not going to honor you. I'm not going to honor me. Keep reading.
For the Lord shall sell Sisera unto the hands of a woman.
Read again.
For the Lord shall sell Sisera unto the hands of a woman.
Keep reading.
And Deborah arose and went with Barak and Kadesh to Kadesh.
Who is she talking about? Read that one more time. That says, for the Lord.
For the Lord shall sell Sisera into the hands of a woman.
So who is Deborah talking about?
Sister?
That's a woman?
No, it's a man.
So read again, Officer Barak.
For the Lord shall sell Sisera into the hands of a woman.
Who is that? The hands of a woman. Who is that? Hold up.
Who is the woman?
Yeah.
I don't know who the woman is.
The woman is Deborah.
No. Because she just said, I'm not doing it for you to honor you or me. I'm doing this because not be for thine honor, for the Lord shall sell Sisera into the hands of a woman. This is for the Lord, for people to see that the Lord delivered a whole army into the hand of a woman. It's not Deborah. Anybody know who it is? Because if it was her, she'd be taking credit for herself. Because I'm going to destroy this army. We about to see. We about to see. Now you look like you read up some. I don't trust that look. Let's keep reading. Now you think you know?
I know because I read up too.
Oh, okay. Now let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Way you would know.
Nah, you too hard, man. That's what you're supposed to do. It's right there in your face.
And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh.
So they go into the battle. All right, keep reading.
And verse 10. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh. And he went up with 10,000 men at his feet. And Deborah went up with him.
So then Barak has 10,000 men. All right. So he has a large army, but the army he's facing is bigger than him. All right.
Verse 11. Now Heber, the Kenite, which was of the children of Heber, the father-in-law of Moses.
Right. Keep reading.
Had served him. Severed himself from the Kenites and pitched his tent unto the plains of Zaanaim.
There you go, Zaanaim.
Which is by Kadesh.
Right. So what you're seeing is, okay, there's this guy named what's his name? Heber. And he and set a tent right outside of the enemy camp, and he's basically right between the enemy camp and Barak in them. He plays a very important role. All right, he's almost like, if you go back some, it'll tell you he was almost like a, what you call in this day, a liaison between the two, between Hamites and between Israel. If you're going back in the history,
Sort of like
really you look
ambassador.
kind of like an ambassador. If you look in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, and you look up Heber, you'll see that he was like a go-between. It was a history between the Kenites and the land of Canaan and Israel. All right, Israelites. They would Heber play, his family kind of played a role where they would help Israel. All right. But you'll also see the not, I won't say genealogy, but you'll see that they were still Israel. All right. The woman we're about to talk about, it was still Israel. Okay, because you have to remember that Moses' rib was, I believe, an Ethiopian.
Right.
Okay, but it doesn't mean that the woman that we're about to talk about now is an Ethiopian. If you go, like I said, like when you do research, you look up Heber, you look up Jael, you'll see the tie between the families, because there's a word called amalgamated. The families of Israel, and I think was it Kenites, they came together. So they kind of came together and kind of was absorbed into each other. So from that, you get this sister. All right. There's some history. You have to go in your Bible dictionary, but I'll break that down next class if it's a little confusing. All right. Because I actually had to research that to make sure this was a sister. You dig what I mean? So let's keep reading.
Verse 12. And they showed Sisera that Barak and the sons of Abinoam was gone up to the Mount Tabor. Verse 13. And Sisera gathered together all the chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were with him from Harosheth of the Gentiles unto the rivers of Kishon.
So now what we're looking at is when Barak's coming down, Sisera is forming his whole army against them. Barak only had 10,000 men. Sisera had 900 chariots.
Right.
That's just that. If he got almost 1,000 chariots, imagine how many men he has. He probably has 100,000 men. Now you're going to see who the Lord is with. That's why one thing you have to understand about the Most High is he never deals with numbers. You could have 10-1 against Israel. You're going to lose. That's one thing that these heathens knew in these scriptures. When you look at the history, we never had numbers. But like, okay, that's something I'm gonna get to you, brother. There's a lot of fake Israelite groups that think that numbers matter.
Right.
Numbers don't matter. The Lord, David tried to take a census one time. King David, you remember this? Yeah. King David tried to take a census on his people in the city so he could get enough soldiers for his army. And when he did this, it made the Most High mad, because you're depending on your numbers instead of me. So when King David had this army put together, when he went to go to war, when he's searching for these men, the Lord said, send some of them home. Now send some of them home. How many numbers you got now? Okay.
Whoever bows down,
let them drink. Tell them to drink out of this little pond, at this little lake. So then the brother started drinking. He said, whoever is drinking and not looking and just, I think it said, laving their tongues like a dog or something like that, then those are the ones you send home, because they are not alert. Because if you in war, you should be drinking like this. You got enough confidence in yourself when your head is face down in the water and you ain't looking up, you catch an arrow in the back of your head. He said, those are the ones you keep, send everybody else home. That's proof that the Lord does not deal with numbers. We looking at it again with this war with Barak and this Captain Sisera of the king of Jabin. He does not deal with numbers. All right, I have to make that clear. Keep going.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And Deborah said to Barak, up, for this is the day in which the Lord hath delivered Sisera unto thy hand.
Mm.
Is not the Lord gone out before thee? So Barak went down from the Mount Tabor,
Mm-hmm.
and 10,000 men after him.
Look at that. You hear that? How many men did he come with?
10,000.
And how many men came down?
10,000.
Keep going.
Verse 15. And the Lord discomfited Sisera and all his chariots.
And what?
And all his chariots.
And what?
And all his chariots.
Keep going.
And all his hosts.
And what?
And all his hosts.
This is whole army and his chariots. Read.
With the edge of the sword.
With what?
With the edge of the sword.
Keep reading.
Before Barak.
Mm-hmm.
But that Sisera lighted down off his chariot.
So
that Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away on foot.
Let me tell you what's happening. What's happening, you know, those words are kind of quick. Gotta break it down. What's happening is Barak came with his whole 10,000. It wasn't about flank right, flank left, second squad, go. No, they all came at one time. Ran up on this huge army, the chariots, they whole host. All right. Now it said, so that Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away off his feet. Did I say that right? And fled away on his feet. That means he looking at these Israelites like, these niggas serious. They coming straight for us. It ain't no formations. It ain't no strategy. They just going straight for the throat. He's on 900 chariots now. Usually if you're the captain or the general, you're in the back watching as everything is so you can call orders. You know, if you ever look at movies, they're like second wave, second with the third wave. All this. They were in the back like, oh man, we losing. You know, dudes is dying. They in the back like, oh yeah, we losing this. We're gonna have to back out. Right. No, he didn't say none of that. He was like, he taking off. Right. He ain't saying nothing. Keep reading.
Verse 16. But Barak pursued after the chariots.
But Barak pursued after them. Go ahead.
And after the host unto Harosheth of the Gentiles. And all the hosts of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword.
Till what?
All the hosts of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword.
One more time.
And all the hosts of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword.
Read that last part.
And there was not a man left.
There was what?
Not a man left.
There had to be one cat.
Not a man left.
It was 5 of the baddest.
Not a man left.
It was a dude.
Not a man left.
One dude got shot in the leg.
Not a single man left.
Hey, won't he do it? Hey, real talk though. When the Lord say something, it's gonna happen. Now, who's the main one that knew the Lord was gonna do that? Sis? Deborah. Or Deborah, but Deborah. She told Barak, the Lord was gonna do this. He's gonna deliver this whole army to you. All right. But from the hands of a woman. Remember that now? Because you'll think it's Deborah, right? Let's keep reading. So no one survived, but that old cis-ass Sisera. Cis-ass Sisera. Yeah, I think it fits well. Keep going.
Verse 17. Howbeit Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, wife of
Heber. See the connection? Yeah. That's why Heber was brought up.
Of Heber.
Now remember, Heber was like halfway in between. It's kind of like, you know, their family was dealing with both, but he set himself outside of the camp. So now it's almost like it would be a great safe haven for Sisera, right?
Yeah, I remember now.
Let's read.
To the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber, the Kenites.
Mm-hmm.
For there was peace between Jabin,
Mm-hmm.
and the king of Hazor,
Mm-hmm.
and the house of Heber and the Kenites.
See, there was no beef there. It was a safe haven.
Right.
So Sisera is thinking, okay, let me get up out of here. He's taking off. He ain't got no chariot. His whole army is dead. Barak is on his ass. Pause. So now Jael is right there in that tent. So let's see what happens.
And Jael, verse 18,
Mm-hmm.
and Jael went out to meet Sisera
Mm-hmm.
and said unto him, turn in, my lord, turn in to me.
So
Fear
now
not.
Sisera comes out the tent. Hey, you need some help? Here, I got you. Come in here. Come in here. They're after you. Come in here. You know how nurturing a woman could be, and you on the run, and this is supposed to be a safe haven, right? Keep reading.
That sounds like MC8 on
Hey, homie, you need some help?
Yeah.
Got a DE right there.
Right.
Keep reading.
Fear not.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had turned unto her into the tent, she covered him with a mantle.
Meaning that she just, she covered him with a blanket. You know what I'm saying? He's all scared. He's shaking and stuff. He's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He gonna kill me. They kill my whole arm. You gotta think like how dudes is acting right now. He already a sissy type dude. Like he's a coward. So he's like, man, what am I do, man? This being gonna kill me. The whole army's dead. But Rock's after me. I don't even know. And she probably sitting there like, this nigga gonna die. He is a straight. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like she like, this is a coward. Keep reading.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto her, give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink,
Mm-hmm.
for I am thirst.
Yeah, from all that running. Keep reading.
And she opened a bottle of milk and gave him drink and covered him.
Don't he sound like a little baby? He got him some little milk, covered him up. He feeling all snuggled up. Oh man, he feel comfortable. Now listen to the last thing he say with his little cowardly self. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Again he said unto her, stand in the door of the tent, and it shall be when any man doth come and inquire of thee this and say, is there any man here? Thou should say no. Now,
if anybody come by the tent and somebody asking, is there a man here? Now you tell them, no, you ain't seen nobody. You understand what I'm saying, right, sis? You got me?
You got my right, right?
Keep reading.
Verse 21. And Jael, Heber's wife,
pay attention now. Read.
Took a nail of the tent.
Took a what?
A nail of the tent.
Now you know them nails is long. Now don't think about no little nail that you hang a curtain, a picture or something with. These are stakes. All right, that long, probably about that round. Go ahead. Like what?
Railroad stakes?
Something like that, or like think of a pin. Like this day and time, if you put a tent up, they got these pins. It's skinny, but it's long, right? It's either like that, or back in the day, it might have been all wood and just like long stakes.
Think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right, yeah, straight up. You know what I mean? This ain't no nail. You know what I'm saying? This is a long bludgeoning object. Go ahead. I think 21.
I'm gonna start it over.
Verse
21. And Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent and took a hammer in her hand and went softly unto him.
And what?
And went softly unto him.
Unto him. She's taking that hammer and that nail, and it is going inside of him. Where at? Read.
And smote the nail into his temple.
Where's the temple at? Where's your temple, young man? Know where your temple is? Your mom ever rubbed your temple? Your head was hurting? Just gave it to you.
Like this?
Where?
Like right here?
No, that's your forehead. Where's your temple? Sis?
Right here.
It's the side of your head. These sides right here, this is your temple. Usually you get a headache, it be these veins come up. They be doing like that. You can see them jumps. That's your temple right there. A baby can punch you in the side of your head, your temple. It's going to feel like you just took a punch from Mike Tyson.
Right.
It's very sensitive. Now, she waited. Now, you got to remember, this dude been running. He tired. Go ahead. He been running. He tired. He had some milk. He had the blanket pulled up on
Give him
him.
some milk.
So he knocked the hell out. So if he's knocked out, it's real easy to creep up on him like she just did and softly just toot, 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 toot. He ain't feeling nothing. Go ahead.
He had a good death.
Say what?
He had a good death.
Oh, he did? He said that man had a good death. Well, I'm going to tell you like this, brother. He had a deserving death. One, he was a heathen coming against the Most High. And two, he was a coward. You know what I'm saying? He should be lucky he even got to die like that. You know what I mean? He probably didn't even feel that. You know. I'm gonna keep reading till the brother come back. For he was fast asleep and weary. So we know that he was knocked out and he was tired. That's why he probably didn't feel nothing, which was an advantage also to Jael. What's going on, bro? Help us just work it up. Was also a advantage to Jael, the sister, because you know he probably could overpower her. So now, what's the last part of 21? Oh, we had Judges 5. I think we had 4 and 21. Just read the whole part again about the shah if you could.
Verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent and took a hammer in her hand and went softly to him, unto him, and smote the nail into his temple and fastened it unto the ground.
And fastened it into the ground. She went choo, 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 choo. That thing coming from one end to the other. He ain't going nowhere. He's done. And he sleep. And he was tired. So basically, he just bled out. In his dreams, he thought he got away. He went to Jabin. He's like, man, Lord, this happened. Lord, as in king, this happened, and I don't know. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Have a seat, man. We still have a place with you at the throne. Man, you dead.
Right.
He don't even know it. He dreaming. He's dying at that moment because the Lord delivered a whole army into the hand of
A woman. That's like a woman.
a woman. Everybody see it now?
Okay.
Wasn't Deborah. Who was it?
It was
Sis,
Heber's wife. I mean,
sis, give me the name.
Jael.
Jael. Lord delivered a whole army into the hands of one, meaning that he was the last part of that army. Barak put in the work, but he had to get Sisera. And Sisera ran. If he could have got away, he could have got for reinforcements, got more troops. He didn't do that. The Lord led him right into a trap. End up getting took out by some lady named Jael with a stake to the temple. All right. Keep reading to 23.
come on, sir. For he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. Verse 22. And behold, as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came out to meet him and said unto him, come, and I will show thee the man whom thou seekest.
So just think if you Barak, man, you're trying to find this dude because you know if he gets back to the king of Jabin, he's gonna send another squad out there. It's very important to find this man and totally take out the whole army of Sisera of King Jabin. Keep going.
And when he came unto her tent, behold, Sisera lay dead, and the nail was in his temple.
In his what?
In his temple.
Temple or temples?
In his temples.
So that lets you know that thing went all the way through. All right. I just want to make sure you good. I thought you had a question. I just want to make sure you understand that when it said fastened, the nail was fastened. It's not like she put it through his head and then tied a rope on it. No, she put that thing all the way through his head. She made sure that job was done.
Right.
That sister was thorough, sisters.
Half his head was in the ground.
You know, you talking about what was her name? Xena, the warrior princess, and what are these little fake Shira, all these little Edomite fake warrior. No, this is a warrior right here. And somebody tell me, I want you to get what you got.
Like when it says fastened to the ground, the nail
Mhm.
threw his head in the ground.
It went like he's laying down. Remember, he's laying down. So she started hitting the hammer on that nail going in his temple, and it went through the other one into the ground. So just think, if that's going into the ground, and let's say it ain't kill you, you trying to get up, you can't move. You got a stake through your head, and it's in the ground. Even if you try to wake up, somebody can beat you to death. You can't get your head up. If you kill the head, the body will fall. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It's just like don't think like a hammer we have today.
Mm-hmm.
Think of a mallet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? One of them big when you at the circus and they show you
Right. A big bludgeon. They call it a bludgeoning object. It's like he's right. Like the hammers we have now, you know, this is thousands of years ago. So, you know, the tools have gotten smaller to easily handle. Back then, man, you just got something, put it together, some piece of wood or some metal you found, and just boom, you know, you need something huge to get these nails in. They didn't have Home Depot and Lowe's. You know what I'm saying? You had to make them. Go ahead.
Think of the old like 40s videos of the circus.
Mm-hmm.
The hammers that they carried.
Right.
Those hammers were huge.
Right. The little, like this day and time, they got the carnival. You got to take that big hammer and hit the thing, try to make it go up. It was probably something similar to that. Right. You know what I mean? Like I said, they didn't have Home Depot and Ace Hardware and all that. They had to make them tools. Now, somebody answer me this question. How did she get this brother in? What was Jael's power? Neither one of y'all two. Y'all look like y'all got it. I want somebody else. Sis in the back, brother up front, brother in the back. I want one of y'all. What did she use?
Oh, her beauty. Probably started putting on something that's revealing and enticing.
She was married.
And didn't say nothing about what she had on.
I think so. I'm just.
You just throwing the stuff out there? What you got? It's a certain word I'm looking for. What did she use? She didn't have any money. She had some milk in a blanket.
Some milk.
In the tent, some milk.
Some milk.
A box.
She married, bro. No, brother, no. It wasn't like that. You got a point. Now you do have a point. Now you got a point. We're gonna talk about that later. You got a point, but in this situation, it wasn't that. Yeah, well, it's not that you're not righteous if you do that. It's no, because you was on the right track, like in doing that, but it's still a righteous way to do that, what you said, but this isn't that situation. Sis.
It's not in the verses. You ain't gonna find it in the verses.
Mm-mm.
The only thing I could say is that she offered to hide him.
But is that all she said? She said, "I'll hide you." Think about the first couple of things she did. She said, "Come here, come here." Then she gave him some milk. Then she gave him a blanket.
Right. She said, "Fear not."
Mm-hmm.
And when he had turned, then she covered him.
So what is she doing at that point?
Comforting him.
Do men do that? Do they comfort you in that way? Like, would you have a man going, "Come here, come into me. Come into me. I want to make you some milk and cover you with the blankets. Come into me." So a man won't do that, right? So a woman do that. She's more nurturing. So she used her what? It's a word. We always use this word.
Mm-hmm. A woman's strength is her.
Give it a shot.
Don't be whispering.
I give you this, sis. It's something y'all only have. A man does not have this. Lord made you with this. Every woman has it. It's up to her if she really wants to use it.
Intuition.
No,
That's
Most-
what gets you in trouble.
most women, yeah, that can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Most women in the world, they have it, but they refuse to use it, so they use aggression.
Right.
I threw you off with that. She's like, I was on track. You threw me off with that one.
Intuition. So
Sis in the front,
kindness.
you got it?
Yes.
What'd you say, Salaki? What'd you
So
say?
kindness.
Also, the quorum just had the class over.
That's
Somewhat there.
that's on there.
Alright.
I was about to say being
True.
So like he's about the other words, but I was gonna say she's going to subdue him. Was one of the words to subdue him.
Well, that's a symptom of this.
And then the other word was beauty.
No, it's not that. Well, sis, you still sis in front.
Femininity.
Give her a hand. She used a woman has a power. Give her a hand. Now, come on, man. That's a woman's power, her femininity. That's how she was able to lure him in, tell him in a way that everything's okay. You know, a woman just naturally has that. She's naturally nurturing to you, offering the milk, the blanket, a sense of comfort, a sense of nothing to worry about. I'll even watch the door for you. You ain't got to worry about nothing. All right, that's a woman's power. That's her power. All right. Were we done? No. The Rock, yeah, let me get verse 23. We're gonna be done with this.
Kind. Judges chapter 4, verse 23. All I can got it.
Mm-hmm.
So God subdued on that day Jabin, the king of Canaan, before the children of Israel.
So that right there lets you know that when it says, so the Most High subdued on that day Jabin, the king of Canaan, before the children of Israel, it's showing you that because of this woman stepping up and Deborah stepping up, or Deborah, and doing what the Lord wanted them to do, and they followed it to a T, they were able to knock out a huge army. There was a very important battle to win. Okay? So I want y'all to understand that. Go ahead, what you got? Hmm?
I was gonna ask at the end of class.
Okay, no sweat.
So
Go ahead, Sue.
there's somebody at the door.
Somebody at the door?
Come on.
Oh, Super Hakalak. I mean, like Super Darakia. Get that door for me. Wait 1 second. I'm looking for it. She got Hebrew. Do what? Say I can't. You gotta talk loud. Oh, you need some water? See, you get him some water. Barbecue show. Give me 1 second. Looking for. I'm looking for something real fast. Give me 1 second. What's going on now? Okay, so with that sister right there, I want y'all to understand, especially sisters, that's your pedigree. What's going on, y'all? Y'all, somebody thought about somebody. I want y'all to understand that's your pedigree, sisters. Those are the type women that step up to the plate and do what the Lord wants, or require us to do. All right. Now the next scriptures I want to look at. Anybody know about a sister that basically stood up to some perverts? These men were straight perverts, and this woman stood up to them. She could have gave in, but she didn't.
They were priests.
Yes, they were elders.
Oh, yeah, it's like
Elders. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Anybody? You raise your hand and says, yeah, go ahead. In this situation, Judith did stand up, but that's not her in this situation. Not to some perverts. These dudes were straight perverts.
Like, is this in the Apocrypha?
Con.
I know. Okay. It's
Hold on. I think you know. Hold on.
I keep want to say Sarah, but not.
You. It's not Sarah.
Yeah.
I ain't finna give you no more. You didn't get it. Young man in front.
I get a hint.
No. I give you a hint. Everybody gonna get that jump. Sis in the back. I think your hand up.
Is it Esther?
La. True. The rock here.
Susanna.
Come on, give my hands. Sister Susanna. You was there. You was almost there, sis. You was around there. You was real close. I want everybody to look in your pocket for. Go to the history of Susanna. Scripture. Wait 1 second. I'm gonna go too far back. Okay, I want to go to chapter 1, verse 6. Trooper Duraki, I want you to take over. Let's see what went down with this sister. How is she an example of your pedigree? And I'm talking to the Akwati when I say that. Oh, sis.
Because it shows what kind of zeal we have in us to do the right thing and how we supposed to serve
That's right.
the Lord, like what we supposed to do, how we stand up for righteousness as well.
Exactly. And you hit that right on the head with that, sis. And another part of that is I'm gonna be real with you. With these sisters that we talking about in particular tonight, these sisters had more faith than the men did. And we're gonna see that in another sister after this. And this sister right here, she stood on what the Lord was gonna do for her. It's been several times when a sister had to stand with the Lord and not believe in anything the healers were trying to do, and all the men that was supposed to be a symbol of bravery and standing up for the nation folded. And the whole reason why the nation even won was because of that sister. In this situation, this sister stood on what the Most High was going to do for her. All right? We're about to find out. So go ahead and read up when you get there.
Come. The book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 6.
So like, is everybody cool? They're not too hot, not too cold? Everybody comfortable? Okay, I'm going to sign Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Allah from Nakwa got it. Verse 6. These kept much at Joachim's house, and all that had any suits in law came unto them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. Now when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went into her husband's garden to walk.
So now we know Susanna has a what? Go ahead. Yeah, a husband. So we know she's married, right? Can you read?
Come. Verse 8. And the two elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed toward her.
So they what?
Lust was inflamed toward her.
These men knew she was married. They had lust for her. Is that lawful? Let's keep reading.
Come. Verse 9.
Now look, y'all thought I was using a word from my own thoughts. Now look at this. This is from the Apocrypha now. Read.
And they perverted their own mind.
And they what?
Perverted their own mind.
They what?
Perverted their own mind.
Keep reading.
And turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments.
Meaning that they kept looking at this woman, was like, man, forget the law, bro. Look at that ass. That's what they was on. Straight perverts. And she's in her what? Where is she at right now? What does scripture say? Look at it, sis. What does it say?
I was gonna say garden. She was in her garden.
Whose?
Her garden.
Her
Husband's?
husband's garden. These men knew where she was. You know that's her husband's garden. You don't care about the law because you got a perverted mind. Keep reading.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And albeit they both were wounded with her love,
Mm-hmm.
yet durst not one shew another his grief.
Look, they both like, damn. That's what they're thinking in their head. But they're not trying to show it to each other. To each other, they're trying to be like, yeah, she's straight.
Keep their composure.
Yeah, but in their head, they doing all kinds of stuff with this woman. Go ahead.
Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
For they were ashamed to declare their lust.
See that? They were ashamed to declare their lust. They don't want to admit it out loud. Go ahead.
That they desired to have to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. Yet they watched diligently from day to day to see her.
Every single day, they was watching this woman in her husband's garden. They was stalking this woman at the same time. Keep reading.
Verse 12. Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And one said to the other, let us go now home, for it is dinner time.
They stayed out there a very long time. it was out there till this time to eat. Keep reading.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were gone out, they parted the one from the other.
Mm-hmm.
Turning back again, they came to the same place.
Now listen, these cats were like, yeah, I'm finna go and leave, bro. It's almost like dinner time, you know what I'm saying? We've been out here just chilling for a minute. Oh, cool, yeah, I'm finna go too, bro. It's about time to go. All right. So they leave like this, right? As soon as they probably get out the view of each other, they come back. Because they want to look at this woman. They are infatuated with this woman. Keep reading.
And after that, they had asked one another the cause. They acknowledged their lust.
Why are you back here? Why are you back here? I thought you was going to dinner. All right, man, quit playing, man. You know good and well we want this woman, man. So what's up? You understand? Now here comes the plot. Here comes the premeditated move. Go ahead.
Then appointed they a time both together, when they might find her alone.
Listen to that. Say that again.
Then appointed they a time both together, when they might find her alone.
So now they plotting on this woman, when to watch her, and when they can meet and watch her together. They're gonna take it further. Keep going.
Verse 15. And it fell out as they watched it fit time. She went in before with two maids only, and she was desirous to wash herself in the garden, for it was hot. So it was a hot day. It's her garden. She don't think nobody else is there. She's there with her maids. She's like, man, I stink. I'm finna take a shower out here. You know, it's a stream out here, whatever, waterfall, might be a little waterfall. So she gonna take a bath and clean herself. Go ahead. Verse 16. And there was nobody there save the two elders that hid themselves and watched her. They what? Hid themselves and watched her. They were waiting for the moment to catch her alone. They was watching for so long and they started plotting. Finally, when can they just waiting for that moment. And then this day, she sends her maids off. She's by herself. She butt ass naked. Keep reading. Come. Verse 17. Then she said to her maids, bring me oil and washing balls, and shut the garden doors, that I may wash me. See, she thought she by herself. She just finna wash herself. Go ahead. Come. Verse 18. And they did as she bade them, and shut the garden doors, and went out themselves at privy doors to fetch the things that she had commanded them. But they saw not the elders, because they were hid. So these dudes was ducked off somewhere behind some bushes. They probably was like this in the bushes. They like, hold on, make it down. Damn. They like Homer Simpson. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like how that meme where Homer Simpson blends into the bush like this. That's how they was. All right, keep reading. Come. Verse 19. Now when the maids were gone forth, the two elders rose up and ran up to her, saying, look at that. Say they rose up. They was ducked off. So they raised up. Go ahead. Verse 20. Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us. We are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us and lie with us. Look at him. Look. Let's run a train.
Right here. Right here in the scriptures. These dudes want to have some kind of menage a trois right there in this garden, man. Can you believe that? These are the elders. We're supposed to be respectable men of the law, of the commandments. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 21. If thou wert not lie, we will bear witness against thee, that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee.
You hear that? Anybody know what that means? Here's the plot. Go ahead.
I think they're going to lie and say she did something with them. That's what I mean by that.
They gonna say what?
That she lied with them anyways if she don't do it.
Sis? What this is saying is, if you don't have sex with us, we're gonna say we seen a young man come in here and you had sex with him. And that's committing
Adultery.
but they're about to commit. See how contradictory that is? These dudes planned this. That's why they came together like this. Keep reading.
Verse 22. Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side. For if I do this thing, it is death unto me. And if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands.
So see, she's sitting there. So you telling me, okay, if I do this, then I'm committing a sin. If I don't do it, then you're gonna try. So you trying to. So this is a catch-22, huh? She looking at these dudes in a way like, oh, so you trying to trap me? Keep reading.
Come.
This is what I'm talking. This is the pedigree of y'all sisters. This is where you come from, right here. Go ahead.
Verse 23. It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord.
You hear what she just said? Say it again.
Come. It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord.
Keep reading.
Verse 24. With that, Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the two elders cried out against her. Verse 25. Then ran the one and opened the garden door. Verse 26. So when the servants of the house heard the cry in the garden, they rushed in at the privy door to see what was done unto her. Verse 27. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna.
So let me tell you something. Susanna did one of the most wisest things you can do when a man is trying to take advantage of you. She cried out. That was similar to rape, premeditated. Because even if she was consent to it, it's slick rape anyway. Because you're trying to use your authority to take this woman. You know what I'm saying? It's adultery and slick rape. But just like you're supposed to do if a man is raping you, just like if a man is trying to come against you, you cry out. She wasn't scared of them. What, I'm supposed to go against the Lord because y'all threatening me? This woman was a woman with integrity, was a woman that cared about not only herself, but her husband. She cared about the Most High. She feared the Lord. She feared the law. She understood that no matter what situation you're trying to put me in, I have to obey the law. Okay? Remember that, sisters. Keep reading.
Verse 28. And it came to pass the next day, when the people were assembled to her husband Joachim, the two elders came also full of mischievous imaginations.
Mischievous imaginations. Meaning that these dudes is about to concoct the biggest lie since Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Against Susanna to put her to death.
To what?
Put her to death.
Because adultery is a sentence by death. All right? Very serious. All because these dudes want to have sex with her. Keep going.
Verse 29. And said before the people, send forth Susanna, the daughter of Chelcias, Joachim's wife. And so they sent. Verse 30. So she came with her father and mother, her children, and all her kindred.
Just think, man, you got your whole family out there, and they trying to convict you of adultery with two men. I mean, they trying to convict you of adultery of a young man. Somebody just snuck in the garden. You had sex with the young man in your own husband's garden. Keep reading. You gotta do this in front of your whole family. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Now Susanna, a very delicate woman,
Mm-hmm.
and beauteous to behold.
So this was a very beautiful woman. Go ahead.
Verse 32.
You got to lose power. You got the power cord in your bag.
Oh, come on. Let me see. Keep going, brother.
Verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
And these wicked men commanded to uncover her face, for she was covered, that they might be fulfilled with her, that they might be filled with her beauty.
Say that one more time.
Verse 32. And these wicked men commanded to uncover her face, for she was covered, that they might be filled with her beauty.
Keep going.
Verse 33. Therefore her friend.
If it go out, it go out.
And all her that saw her wept. Verse 34. Then the two elders stood up in the midst of the people and laid their hands upon her head.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 35. And she was weeping, looked up toward heaven, for her heart trusted in the Lord. 36.
Oh, Salaki. Read 32 one more time, bro.
Come. And these wicked men commanded to uncover her face, for she was covered, that they might be filled with her beauty.
Man, these dudes are so sick. If this woman was to be judged as to die, they wanted to see her one more time because her face was covered. That's how sick these dudes is, man. Keep reading. You can go to wherever you left off at. So like,
Come.
mm-hmm.
Verse 36. And the elders said, as we walked in the garden alone, this woman came in with two maids and shut the garden doors and sent the maids away.
Now here comes the lie. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 37. Then a young man who there was hid, came unto her and lay with her. Verse 38.
That's the lie right there. That's what they're trying to accuse her of. Go ahead.
Come. Then we that stood in the corner of the garden, seeing this wickedness, ran unto them. Verse 39. And when we saw them together, the man we could not hold, for he was stronger than we, and opened the door and leaped out.
So they basically saying, man, we was in the garden and we seen a young man leap in, have sex with her. They tried to step in and say something, try to break it up. The dude strong armed them and got away. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 40. But having taken this woman, we asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify. Verse 41. Then the assembly believed them as those that they were the elders and judges of the people. So they condemned her to death.
They condemned her to death based on these men are supposed to be the judges. They're not going to lie. They're the elders. Why would they lie? You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come. Verse 42. Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting God,
Mm-hmm.
that knowest thee secrets, and knowest all things before they be. Verse 43. Thou knowest that they have borne false witnesses against me, and behold, I must die. Whereas I never did such things as these men have maliciously invented against me.
Now look, at this moment, Susanna's not talking to nobody but the Lord. That's when you really have faith, when your life is on the line. You're not depending on what no man gonna do. Only thing you depending on is the Most High.
Right.
This is what I'm talking about, sisters, that you have to remember you come from. You come from a pedigree of women. When everything is on the line, they put all their trust in the Most High. Ain't like these Christian women where you got to have this much money, or you got to have this many members in your church, or they got to be driving like this, or all this, just salaki, but bullshit. It ain't about none of that. Are you with the Most High? Or are you not? Because if you've been with him the whole time, it's not like Susanna was with him all of a sudden when she get in trouble. The first one you want to call is and say, oh my God. No, she been with him before that. So now when she's in trouble and everyone is against her, and the very thing she depends on is the Most High, listen to what these next words are. Read.
Come. Verse 44. And the Lord heard her voice.
The what?
The Lord heard her voice.
The what?
The Lord heard her voice.
How would the Lord hear her voice if she was obeying the laws? Salaki, I know you gonna say that. That's the only way he's gonna hear her. You think that he's listening to these Christians? Because do they obey the law? Now we know the scriptures say that, don't we? If you love the Lord, you'll what? You'll obey the law. So that means she's been doing this. She didn't do it just when she got in trouble. You want to say something else?
I had a question about that.
Mhm.
When something like that happens, aren't they supposed to wait till like her husband come back and for him to see it? Or does he just come home and his wife is already dead and he?
I mean, it don't have details like that, but you got two elders that were like judges, and they saying, "Hey, we seen this. We need to accuse this one. We need to take her to counsel now." You dig what I'm saying? So that's how they handled it, and that's what they did. You know, so it's basically like the people looked at these men off of almost like a respect thing,
Creflo Dollar and TD Jakes.
almost like that. If they said it, it's got to be true type thing. Brothers back.
So like the law says, if there's two or more, that is an agreement, like an account, and you let it be so.
Come. So right, you know what I'm saying?
Good riddance.
Yeah, so they just basically snatched her up. But yeah, keep reading though.
Come. Verse 45. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, the Lord, when she was led to be put to death, the Lord raised up the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was Daniel.
Whose name was who?
Name was Daniel.
Now you got a brother that's like, man, something ain't right. When he's saying raised up the Holy Spirit in you, that's that feeling in you. You can't even explain it. You just like something ain't right, or this ain't right. That's that zeal, and the Lord put that in Daniel. Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 46. Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 47. Then all the people turned them toward him and said, what mean these words that thou hast spoken?
In other words, Daniel is not cool with this. This ain't right, is what he's saying. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 48. So he standing in the midst of them said, are ye such fools, ye sons of Israel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth, ye have condemned a daughter of Israel?
You see that? You're just going off of what these men say. You're not even examining what happened. You're not even asking detailed questions. If this is a council, it should be questions asked. It shouldn't be based on who these men are. Now let's find out why Daniel said that. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 49. Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. Verse 50. Wherefore all the people turned again in the haste, and the elder said unto him, come, sit down among us, and show it us, seeing God has given thee the honor of an elder.
So now these men is like, okay, since the Lord is with you, let's see what you're talking about. These men don't even think the Lord is with this man. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 51. Then Daniel said unto them, put these two aside, one far from another, and I will examine them.
So we're going to split these men up, and I'm going to ask them questions one-on-one. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 52. So when they were put asunder from one another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxen old in wickedness, now thy sins which thou hast committed for a time are come to light.
Y'all realize what's happening.
Right, you taking
Daniel is talking bad to this dude. This is not like so on February the 15th at 2:30. Where were you at? Exactly at what time were you doing it? What were you doing? No, say it again. This is how Daniel starts the conversation.
So when they were, verse 52, so when they was put asunder one from another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxen old in wickedness.
You old wicked bastard. Keep reading.
Now thy sins which thou hast committed aforetime come to light.
You thought you got away with it, didn't you? You know you messed up, don't you? Y'all remember that Minister Society? You know you just messed up, don't you? Keep reading.
Verse 53. For thou hast pronounced false judgment and hast condemned the innocent and has let the guilty go free. Albeit the Lord saith, the innocent and righteous shall not slay. Thou shalt not slay.
You are not going to take advantage of this innocent woman because the Lord is with her. And she knows it. Keep reading.
Verse 54. Now then, if thou hast seen her, tell me, under what tree saw them companying together? who answered under the mesquite tree.
So, if what you're saying is true, where did you see them doing this? Oh, it was under a mesquite tree. Okay, keep reading.
Verse 55. And Daniel said, very well, thou hast lied against thy own head.
You just lied, dude. You just messed up, right? Daniel knew that you just gonna say any tree, and then whatever the next man say, it's gonna be the opposite. Watch. Go ahead. Because see, this is one thing the two elders didn't conspire on. They didn't say what tree we was gonna be on. They didn't think about this little glitch. All right, go ahead.
For even now the angel of God have received the sentence of God to cut thee in two.
You're going to die. Daniel is saying, man, for what you've done and the words that you just spoke out your mouth saying mystic tree, you're gonna die for that because you lied on an innocent woman. Not only just a regular innocent woman, a woman of the Lord, right. A daughter of Zion. That's a big deal, sisters. Keep reading.
Verse 56. So he put him aside and commanded to bring the other, and said unto him, O thou seed of Canaan, and not of Judah, beauty have deceived thee, and lust have perverted thy heart.
Look, talking bad to him too. You a pervert. Go ahead.
Verse 57. Thus have ye dealt with the daughters of Israel.
You see that? He's saying that for a reason. Look, if you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you are above anything else on this planet. You are very precious. The Lord see you like that. You come from a stock where you're first. Only reason why we're like C-class citizens is because we messed up. Not because somebody else messed up or somebody else just had so much power that they put us into oppression. No, it's because we messed up. So we have to pay for this. But we're supposed to be up here. That's why the Lord is having this sister back so much, so tough. She ain't finna die. And Daniel is telling this to these men. He's convicting them before they die. That's hardcore. When you take a man and you talk to him one-on-one and you tell him about what he's done and he wrong, it ain't nothing he can do but eat it. That's all he can do is sit there and eat that. Whether he try to fight it or not, it's the truth. He got to swallow that. Keep reading.
And they for fear company with you, but the daughter of Judah will not abide your wickedness.
You going?
Verse 58.
Meaning that the Susanna was not going. Go ahead.
Verse 58. Now, therefore tell me, under what tree didst thou take them company together?
Now here we go. Here's the sword that killed him. Go ahead.
Who answered, under a almond tree.
An almond tree. So is that the same as what the first elder said? Houston, we got a problem. These are two different stories. Is this because Daniel is so brilliant?
Nah.
Why is this? Why is this happening like this? How did Daniel know what questions to ask? Something as simple as a tree.
Because the Lord put it on him to ask those things.
Exactly. Because the Lord is with who?
The Lord's with the sister and with Daniel.
It's most definitely with Daniel, but this is about the sister. The Lord is with his sister. So if the Lord is with you, that means you are blessed. So that means you are protected. Very good. Give her a hand. All right. Keep going.
Verse 59. Then Daniel said unto him, well, thou hast also lied against thy own head, for the angel of God waiteth with the sword to cut thee in two, that he may destroy you.
Because what you just said, you're going to die. Keep reading.
Verse 60. With that all, the assembly cried out with a loud voice and praised God, who saveth them that trust in him.
Keep going.
Verse 61. And they arose against the two elders, for Daniel had convicted them for false witness by their own mouth. Verse 62. According to the law of Moses, they did unto them in such sort that they maliciously intended to do their neighbor.
Do their what?
Due to their neighbor.
Do their what?
Due to their neighbor.
Proves right there. It's another precept. Your neighbor is your kinsman. That's a precept. I like that. Go ahead.
Come. And they put them to death. Thus the innocent blood was saved the same day.
Those two men died because they was doing something perverted and against the law. And that sister lived because she stood up for herself and she believed in the Most High. All right? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 63. Therefore Chelseas and his wife praised God for their daughter Susanna, with Joachim her husband, and all the kindred, because there was no dishonesty found in her. Verse 64. From that day forth was Daniel had a great reputation in the sight of the people.
Damn right. Most High in Christ, man. Get the Lord a hand in saving this people. It proves don't never leave the Lord's side. He'll never leave your side. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a precept. I don't know which one, but it's a precept. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Christ. What was that? Officer McCall, you know what precept that is?
What was that again?
I think it's Christ when he says, if you turn, I'm paraphrasing, if you turn on me, when you ask me to be with you, then I'm gonna turn on you. You lukewarm, I spew you from my mouth. Find that part and you'll find that scripture, you know, if you look up that part. But yeah, that's how the Most High is. If you either right or left. You know, it's not no in between on the middle of the fence. You either with him or you not. That's why he says lukewarm. You either gotta be hot or cold. You know what I'm saying? But when you hot, when you need the Lord, he's gonna show up if that's his will. All right. Because one thing we can't do is say that, well, if I do this, then Lord, I need you to meet me halfway. He's not your butler, man. Like he's showing up like this. That's not how the Lord works. All right. If it's in his will, it'll go down. All right. Let's get to we'll talk about this last sister, man. We're gonna talk about Judith. We're gonna go to Judith 8:1. Still here in the Apocrypha. We're gonna be skipping around a little bit. It's a little long. If you get a chance, read Judith, man. Read Judith from read the whole thing, but especially read from about 8:1 to about 15. Yeah, to about 15. Really, read the whole book. You get a chance, read Judith. Very, very, very powerful sister. Very powerful sister. Trooper the Rock, y'all, whenever you get there.
Come. The book of Judah, chapter 8, verse 1.
Hold on.
All got it?
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I want that. Yeah, that's just talking about I don't want that. It's about the widow. Let me get chapter 8:2. You swap? Okay.
8:1.
Oh, come. No sweat. Yeah, 8:2. 8:2. Salakia. 8:2.
The book of Judah, chapter 8, verse 2. All got it? And Manasseh was her husband of her tribe and kindred, who died in the barley harvest. Verse 3. For he stood overseeing them that bound sheaves in the field. The heat came upon his head and fell on his bed and died in the city of Bethulia.
Mm-hmm.
And they buried him with his fathers in the field between Dothan and Balamoth.
So basically, this is how her husband died. He died in the field, kind of like a heat stroke. So she becomes a widow. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 4. So Judah was a widow in her husband's house 3 years and 4 months.
In her house.
So Judah was a widow in her house 3 years and 4 months.
Okay.
Verse 5. And she made her a tent upon the top of her house, and put on sackcloth upon her loins,
Mm-hmm.
and wear her widow's apparel.
So basically, she was in mourning for losing her husband. So in doing that, she wear the tradition was you wear sackcloth. There's a certain widow's apparel that she would wear, and she was mourning for her husband. So let me we're gonna skip up a little bit. Okay, so now I want you to go to verse 26. And you have to understand what's going on right now. It's like a drought in the land. All right. And the Assyrians are right outside of their camp or where they're at. And they're about to come over and take over them. And there's elders amongst Israel, but these elders, they want to give in. So let's read, I think, 26. Start there.
Come. Verse 26. Remember what things he did to Abraham,
Mm-hmm.
and how he tried Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
and what happened to Jacob in Mesopotamia of Syria, and when he kept the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother.
Keep going.
Verse 27. For he have not tried us in the fire, as he did them for examination of their hearts, neither have he taken vengeance on us.
Now pause right there. This is Judith trying to talk to the elders not to give up and give these oppressors what they want. Everything's well about? Okay. And not give these men don't give your nation up to the heathens. All right. Keep going.
Come.
And she's talking about everything that their ancestors had went through or their forefathers had went through, and they haven't been put through the fire like them. So why should we give up what we have to these heathens because they threatening us? And then there's like a drought. There's like a famine. We should be more. We should have more faith in the Most High that He's going to save us up out of this. Keep going.
Come. But the Lord doth scourge them that come near unto him, and abolish them. Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
Then said Ozias to her, all that hast thou spoken with good heart,
Mm-hmm.
and there is none that may gainsay thy words. Verse 29. For this is not the first day wherein thy wisdom is manifested, but from the beginning of thy days all the people have known thy understanding, because the disposition of thine heart is good.
So what he's saying is, yeah, you right, Judith, on what you saying. You righteous. Yep, that's right. Our forefathers, they did stay by the Lord no matter what they went through. What you saying is true. But there's always a but. Read.
Come. Verse 30. But the people were very thirsty.
But what?
People were very thirsty.
But what?
People was very thirsty.
So instead of believing in the Lord, just like your forefathers did, we thirsty. We going through a drought. We going through a famine. We struggling. This hurts. This is pain. Keep reading.
Come. And compel us to do unto them as we have spoken, and to bring an oath upon ourselves, which we will not break.
Keep going.
Come. Verse 31. Therefore not pray thou for us, because thou art godly women, and the Lord will send us rain to fill our cisterns.
Say that. Start from again. Read that again, bro.
Okay. Verse 31. Therefore now pray thou for us.
Hold right there. We're going to go by the oath with these heathens, the agreement with them, because this thirstiness and all this pain hurts. But just pray for us, sister. Because we know you're a godly woman. We know the Lord with you, so just pray for us. But we still going to go against what the Lord wants. Keep reading.
Come. Because thou art a godly woman,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lord will send us rain to fill our cisterns,
Mm-hmm.
and we shall faint no more.
Keep reading.
Verse 32. Then said Judah unto them, hear me, I will do a thing which shall go throughout all generations to the children of our nation.
At that moment, Judith had made her mind up on what she needed to do. At that moment, she realized, you brothers is weak. She is telling them something. It's almost like she's foreshadowing what she's saying. She's saying, say it again, brother.
Come. Then Judah said unto them, hear me, and I will do a thing which shall go throughout all the generations to the children of our nation.
This thing, what she about to do, it will always be known through the generations of Israel. Are y'all a generation of Israel? Are we reading this right now? That means what she did, she succeeded, correct? Let's see what she did. Go ahead.
Verse 33. Ye shall stand this night in the gate, and I will go forth with my waiting woman.
Mm-hmm.
And within the days that ye have promised to deliver the city to our enemies, the Lord will visit Israel by my hand.
By what?
By my hand.
By what?
By my hand.
Not by y'all hand. By this woman and her maid. It don't sound like she has too much faith in these men, but she got faith in what? The Most High. She knows what she got to do. She already had it made up in her mind as soon as he said, we're going to acknowledge the oath that we got with the heathens. Just pray for us. She knew they was weak at that moment. All right. Okay, so let's go to read 35 real quick. That's sad.
Come. Verse 35.
Yeah, 35, 36.
Then said Osias,
this is one of the elders,
and the princes unto her, go in peace, and the Lord God be